Ladies, gentlemen, and every magnificent thing between and outside, this is the Envoy of Kairos, here for the third session of the Digimon Analogue Adventures BLACKOUT beta campaign. So, it's been another 2 weeks. I think we could use a little recap as to where we left off. So, you guys have made your way to the small, cozy lakeside village of Datapool. Been introduced to a couple of excellent NPCs in one of the Elders and Tekai. And then the town was immediately under attack by a few soldiers from the Metal Empire, particularly a small group of Pawn Chessmon and a Knight Chessmon, who Cap immediately capped in the back of the head. You now have 2 hostages. What will you do with those? Well, not hostages, captives. What are you gonna do with them?
Just immediately start punching him like.
No, we gotta
no.
escort them back to the town and see what information we can glean with people that actually know more about the situation than we do.
I don't even think that would hurt him. Just
we don't need to hurt
him. Just punch him and go ah.
I mean, yeah.
We've been pummeling them this entire time, and it did result in a couple of them dying.
Oh, but it's the Digimon that if I did it with my bare hand, it would hurt.
Yeah, if you punch them yourself.
It's covered in metal. You'll hurt your hand at best.
So, you intend to take them back to town. Who's going to be carrying them? Because these guys are in...
Put them... Can we just, wrap them in rope and then pull them up?
Oh, put them on the fish.
Put them on the fish.
Yeah.
I mean... Yeah, Wahoo is probably strong enough to carry them both. He'd have a little trouble hovering and be, only a few inches off the ground. But he could probably do it.
Yeah.
Low clearance, I say we do it.
Yeah.
Just let them walk alongside us. We just have them, wrap their arms.
I'm assuming they trust them up pretty good and they can't walk, so...
Yeah, we just, have them like this. Then we carry them around.
You could untie their legs and basically just keep their arms bound and leash them along. Yeah, that is definitely an option.
But I don't trust they're not gonna make a break for it.
I ain't gonna carry them. Also, they just got their asses beat. What are they gonna do? Run away and we just cap them?
That's why I put them on the fish.
Also, one of them is still paralyzed, so they can't exactly walk.
I would just put them on the fish.
Which, once again, excellent job on that stun. Cheese did some fantastic work there. So, alright.
Rune.
You strap them to Wahoo's back and start floating them back to town. As you make your way back into town, there's a few people there waiting for you. For one, there's Tekai standing there, just looking not exactly surprised, almost like he was worried, but definitely relieved to see you all returning in good condition.
Oi.
We're back.
We're so fucking back, dude.
So we brought these for you.
Cheers.
So the second person there is Elder Brato, and he takes a look at both of the captives you've got and just nods faintly. It's impressive work. Alright, I think I know a good place you could bring them. Usually after these attacks, we get together for a little town hall meeting to discuss it. Usually we have a couple of casualties to worry about, but thanks to you, we got off scot-free this time. But the meeting is still being called, so how about you bring them along to City Hall and we interrogate them there where everyone relevant is ready to hear them out.
Yep.
Well, better than us having to try to figure out questions on our own. Kind of bit out of our depth right here.
Make him talk.
So the one that's not paralyzed just it looks up to like both of the Digimon that like aided in their capture, particularly Caprice and Scratch being the two most intimidating in their opinion. He looks up to both of them and seems wary for a moment and just shrugs and hangs his head again like, fine.
Oh, look at that. Little tin boy knows what's good for him.
Man is spilling everything.
It's not like I have anything else to do. I failed. If I go home, I'm dead.
No.
Sorry.
Then you'll work with us, I guess. Cool.
That's some bad benefits, my guy.
Bro needs to unionize.
Okay, so they lead you into City Hall. And there's a few other significant figures gathered there. For one, Brato heads up to the far end of the room where there's a few large seats and podiums of varying sizes. The smallest is his own. Then one that's much closer to human size seems to be hosting a average adult woman size wooden and metal puppet Digimon with a pair of hovering arms that also look to be little wooden Japanese dolls. A few would recognize this as a Kokeshimon. The one
C or a K?
most K, 2 Ks. Kokeshimon.
Oh, she's cool.
And
Okay, she.
He's could take sheesh.
the one most familiar with a Kokeshimon here would definitely be Scratch, as they were relatively common in her own server. But then the third up there is arguably the most elderly of them, despite Brato being clearly quite old himself. It's a very large and very saggy-hided blue dinosaur Digimon that looks very similar to a Tyrannosaur with a huge, like, Native American headdress. Some might recognize them as a relatively rare but known species, Allomon. For those of you trying to look that up, Allomon is spelled A-L-L-O.
Like Allosaurus.
Yeah.
It's blue Greymon. It's native blue Greymon.
I'd say it's closer to Tyrannomon.
My friend here is huge.
But there's also one other figure that's standing out. Off to one side in the extra seating up front for more significant members of the community, you can also see an slightly, definitely not elderly, but you'd say middle-aged and very tired-looking Revolmon. He's got a bit of rust on his gun parts, and his hat's got a few holes in it. And Caprice would immediately recognize this guy as her old boss Russell, or Rusty.
Got a gun.
He is a gun.
Well, well, well. Look who's still shooting from the hip.
So he just like thrusts forward.
He
That's how he shoots the gun.
Yeah.
So he locks up the moment he hears her voice, does a double take, and nearly falls out of his seat. Caprice? What the hell? I thought everyone else was gone. What the hell happened to you?
Do you have a southern accent?
He has a very, very slight southern accent, but I'm not good at doing a southern accent, so.
Caprice is there. Goddamn.
Goddamn homeless shit! I thought you was dead. All right. She tugs
I
on both
thought
of
you
her
was
gloves.
dead.
She tugs on her gloves to tighten them for the aura and just shrugs. I lived.
Well, that was that. You are a fireman?
Caprice, you've been gone for 20 years.
Has it been that long already?
You don't even...
Oh, we...
I mean, you do look considerably different. Look almost like you're rehatched, but you're still too similar. It's more like Extra was tacked onto you, rather than revolving from scratch.
Well, I ain't too sure what happened to me either, but I'm back, and I've got some scores to settle.
You and me both will, Missy. If I could find that bastard Ricardo myself, I'd put a cap in his head immediately, but... dumb bastard got himself mixed up with the Metal Empire. Wherever he is, he's deep in their territory right now. Ain't seen hide nor hair of him anyway. Nobody has. My best guess, that bastard was just looking for power. A Commandramon. Of course he was. The only ones that could help him reach his full potential were the Metal Empire. He was probably looking to be upgraded to a SEALs.
Well,
And other servers were fucked up, huh?
you ain't got no idea.
Probably not. Wish I'd been there myself to try and back you up, but if I were, I'd probably be dead too. Still.
Don't give yourself so little credits. You'd probably be imprisoned.
Maybe I've got good information they would have gladly been looking for. Although, I probably would have pissed off their interrogators so much they'd have killed me anyway.
Ugh.
That's what I always liked about you.
Yeah, I know. I'm where you got it from. Well, I won't keep you much longer. Clearly, you've been chosen. You've got work to do here.
Ain't that bad, bitch?
Ain't you one?
Oh, shit.
You get going. Nobody in this town's really that good at interrogation, but... He turns his eyes towards Scratch. I think we got some people here that can handle the job.
Well, if that's all
I mean-
settled, then.
Now everyone's just gonna chime up and just say, torture's easy. All you gotta make sure is that they think they're gonna do the worst thing imaginable.
Leans over to the thing, and we are.
No, you don't actually. No. That's kind of the thing. You have to. It's like, oh wait, is Ponchesmon in the room right now?
Yes, they're both laid over
All right.
Wahoo's back, right next to you.
Yeah.
I mean, Wahoo might be hungry.
Hey, if you're this far in the video, maybe consider leaving a like, a comment, and subscribing to the channel. And if you really want to help me out, consider following the link below to check out my book. I also do commissions, so feel free to contact me for that over any of my socials. Now, I'll let you get back to the video.
Can I take Rune to a hospital? She got fucked up in the previous battle.
Well, thankfully, you don't have to worry too much about a hospital. This village isn't quite big enough to have one, but they do have some medics on hand. And having been, walled up in City Hall waiting to deal with any injuries and casualties from the attack, they did have some of their medics already there. So, seeing Rune considerably injured, and spotting a few other injuries throughout the group, a few healers, particularly a few Cutemon, end up making their way through the group, slowly healing everyone.
Yo. I just hug Lunamon like, oh, thank goodness. She's fine.
Yeah,
Like,
she should be
I'm
fine in a
fine.
few minutes. So as you are leading your captives up, the other two council members are staring down at you. The elderly Alamon seems pensive but cheerful. She's definitely glad to see you. Her smile isn't too toothy. In fact, she's definitely the oldest one there because most of her teeth are most definitely gone, which is shocking for a huge dinosaur Digimon. But then the Kokeshimon, her face is rather passive and still. They're not the best at displaying emotion. So her stare is just largely blank, emotionless. But you can kind of see the gears turning in her head. As you approach the additional seating and podiums in the middle of the floor, Elder Brato waves to the other two council members. I would like to introduce both of you to my fellow members of the mayoral council. You see, when we first dealt with the Great Compiling, we realized that electing a single mayor for the citizenry of such an amalgamated city would be rather impossible. So we decided to set up a council system and allow for one mayor to be elected from each of the involved populaces. To my left, you have Elder Savannah, or Sevi as she prefers. And of course the old Alamon bows to you all. And to my right, you'll see the youngest of our mayors, Atsuka. And the Kokeshimon immediately bows as well. Though it's a much more mechanical motion than the fluid one that Sevi gave you.
You'll have to forgive us. We're not very used to such polite society.
Good afternoon, man. Good afternoon, everyone.
Scratch does a bit of a not like a hyper formal bow, but a pretty decently formal bow, and Art just kind of like waves their hand like, "Hey."
The fish in Hailey's hand is just kind of rapidly like waving its flippers and tails, greeting it. He does not understand the gravitas of any of this.
Okay, so I would like those with the stealthy background to roll perception. So do keep in mind that all of you are rolling perception with your firewall stats. Those with major backgrounds use the full stat. Those with minor backgrounds use half of it rounded down. So that would mean Caprice is rolling it with half her firewall rounded down.
Yeah, I'm just looking up the sheet right now. I roll stats 5, which means I roll a d6 5 times, right?
Yep. Oh, right. I forgot to write down the rules for that. Yeah, so perception is one of those loose ones that runs off of like a baseline ability for all people and doesn't use so much of a stat. So you're basically adding the results of these rolls to a d20. Okay, yeah, so these results are definitely tracking to what I was hoping to see here. So, Caprice, with her ability, is definitely going to easily notice that the one that was paralyzed is starting to move and seems to be incredibly agitated and planning something. Sora might notice this, but, not Sora, Scratch might notice this, but, well, she'll notice quite a bit more is that there's something familiar about that Kokeshimon. And yeah, there were plenty of them in her own server. Saw them all over the place. They would basically work as, like, both guards and servants to royal families all across her server. And that therein lies the problem. It's kind of impossible to tell where she recognizes her from, which means it's impossible to tell what royal family she might have been associated with, which is a problem when much of your history involves killing said royal families.
Just a casual dose of regicide to brighten your afternoon.
We just got lore bombed, chat.
But,
More lore.
Scratch would be able to easily tell that this Kokeshimon's eyes are repeatedly drifting to her. So the Kokeshimon definitely recognizes her.
She's catching those glances and try not to make it obvious, but also just kind of keeping that side eye just in the periphery, just trying to like keep her in focus, just trying to rack her brain about which one is one of the royal families that she's recognizing this from, and is trying to like also just not really say too much to them until she's really got a bead on if it's safe to do or not.
For those of you who noticed what's up with the pawn that looks ready to act, or preparing to, what are you going to do about that one?
Did Cheese Cheese notice?
Yes, your roll with Cheese was just good enough for him to notice, and he gets a little bit of an advantage being the shortest one here, and able to actually, like, look up into their visor and see them kind of glaring.
Again?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop. Yeah, he's just gonna stuff some stinky cheese back into the guy's face, like a little no.
Okay, since he was only just getting his ability to move back, it's pretty easy to smack him in the face with that and make sure he stays down. The other one turns and stares at him for a moment and just shakes his head. Like, okay, that guy, he's
looking for a promotion.
He's a bit more of a violent loyalist, I think.
A go-getter. He's a bit more of a go-getter. That's the positive word you should use to describe him. Go-getter.
Bootlicker.
Art looks at the dude that was just talking, and just kind of cocks her head to the side. So what? You're all not militant fanatics or whatever? Like, what's your deal then?
He just huffs, like, they try to do this whole brainwashing thing all through the Metal Empire. It works on most. It's just, sometimes there's little glitches in their system. They're trying to militarize to an extreme degree, which means they're both making new soldiers from scratch and conscripting everyone they can get their hands on. Yeah, I'll admit, while I've been living there, it's been rather comfortable. I've been alright with the city. The moment they sent me out for the job, though, all of my coworkers are assholes.
Oof.
She just pay you, right?
My condolences. Hailey's a barista. She's had to deal with lots of different type of people.
You guys at least get benefits?
Our benefits are not being used for experiments.
Those are pretty good benefits.
You need better benefits.
No, those are not good benefits. Good benefits are. Well, I mean, you can't just pay a guy and not killing you today. You need to pay them more things like
vacation
money.
days.
Yes.
Jason leans over to
You need to
Lucy.
pay people in
They don't even have dental.
money.
Scratch kind of chuckles a little bit under her breath, like, I don't know, you'd be surprised how many people can get paid not dying.
Give me your lunch money.
I mean, I'll admit, not dying sounded like a good enough deal at first when they were, attacking my hometown. That was before the merger.
I don't blame
Aggressive
you.
murder?
Damn good deal.
And then you rocked up and saw some chosen, and I'm sure you're a little bit like, oh no.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
they had a
pretty
big
much.
boy beating us up beforehand.
And then as he's talking, the other one, who's like mostly paralyzed, he can't move his body at all. He's just gritting his teeth and speaking through them, and like half his words are slurred. And he's just growling at you all and saying, "If I could move, I would kamikaze this whole fucking room."
And then Caprice puts her foot
All
on his
right.
head and pushes him back down onto the floor and just goes, "No, you wouldn't. I'd drop you before
Damn.
you took a breath."
I mean, as soon as he has kamikaze bits, so I would say someone can search him.
Did we just bring a bomb here? I don't think this is very a
Yeah.
good place to bring somebody with that.
Nah,
Okay, as you-
some Digimon can just overload their cores.
Well, as you mention a bomb, the other guy like jumps a little and turns to stare around. He's like, "Oh shit! Actually, that might be a possibility. They wouldn't
you
have
have
told.
a bomb?
I don't have one, but if we had some back at our camp,
Wait, how is he holding on to? I don't see like any place in his arm or for. Like, did he eat it? Did they make him eat it?
I mean, yeah, we did have some ingestible explosives. But there's also
are
the
they
fact
good?
that he's like probably has one like stuck under his helmet or like maybe beneath his chest plate. Like he could have like tucked it in there in a ton of different places. They were pretty small but effective.
So between
Okay,
any of our militant specialists, is there someone who's good at searching individuals and finding hidden things?
I'm not strip searching him. 1, 2, 3, not it.
Also,
I have a
show of
fish.
hands, who else was going to want to try to aura farm and like step on the dude's head and be like, nah? Because I had the same thought.
That was
Pop him.
yeah, that was Caprice doing that.
Yep.
Oh shit! Our Digimon would get along.
Just pop the nerd. I don't think it's very wise to just threaten with an explosion.
But not if he literally has a. If he
now
dies,
that-
it explodes anyway, you know?
It could be a dead man switch. We
Yeah.
can't. Someone drag him outside.
We don't know how
So,
big it's gonna be.
Russell actually raises his hand. He's like, "Okay, I'll take this guy. I've got beef with them anyway. He's looking to die anyway. I'm just gonna take him out to the fields and old Yeller this bitch."
Tell him to think of the bunnies.
Let me know.
Like Art's face is like gone from like kind of like chill to really spooked about a bomb to just fucking horrified that you just said that. Like, man, this
Wait.
is
Wait,
Well,
how
dark.
do they know what old yellow
I'm
is?
pretty sure they don't have the Geneva Conventions here.
it's a Geneva suggestion.
We're not Canada.
He wakes up in Geneva and he's like, "Ah, shit, I did it again."
God damn it. Okay, so he just takes that paralyzed guy over his shoulder and just walks out of the building, leaving you with the one who's cooperating. It's like, okay, now that nut job is out of the way, he should be paralyzed more than long enough for that dude to get him out of town. Yeah, so we were just camped out here for reconnaissance. Wasn't supposed to be a militant thing. We didn't really have enough guys for a full-scale attack anyway. It was just the 5 of us you fought and one recon officer. Pretty fast guy. Actually seems to be training a replacement for himself, actually. Dude's a absolutely terrifying Sealsdramon. Just goes by a code name.
What's the
Fieldstorm.
code name?
Well, I mean, Metal Empire code names are usually just, numbers and letters jumbled together, but he's high ranked enough that he ended up having only, 2 involved. I'm pretty sure it was K6.
Her eyes narrow to slits. She doesn't know, but she knows.
Apparently he's working on training a replacement. He's not quite ready for the SEALs program just yet, but the dude's climbing the ranks from last I heard. Still, he was there with us as part of our recon squad, and then we saw the lights in the distance descending down into that grove, and we got orders from on high through the recon officer, and they said that we should launch an immediate attack, and the recon guy would be off in the distance just watching and take whatever intel we get from the fight to report back to the higher-ups.
Where was he positioned to watch?
I don't know, though. That don't tell me shit. My best guess is he was, probably half a mile away at least, watching from over a hill or something.
Okay, so he's probably already miles from here.
Oh yeah, as fast as those guys are, by now he's probably about 20 miles out.
She curses
I'll
in
have
a way
enemies.
that none of the humans understand, but all the Digimon in the room know was very, very naughty naughty.
Damn, okay, you have some real personal beef. Not that I can blame you.
Dude, that shit sounds like it's
Well-
buffalo, not beef. Damn.
I don't think there's anything to worry about. Says Rowan, just sort of relaxing. He's probably gonna come to us way before we come to him. So I think we can just stay here, relax, enjoy this whole hero thing, and then worry about it.
Hailey just sighs and goes, "Really? You think that everything we're going through is gonna let us just relax like that?"
I want to relax.
Maybe for
The,
thinking about it, maybe a little bit, but we're probably more gonna be in the shit of it than the size of life.
the pawn just
I mean-
laughs a bit, like, you don't know the half of it. Now that recon guy is running back. I give it maybe a week before they end up launching a full-scale attack down this way, unless they get intel that you've left. And then they'll end up deciding, maybe we should just send a small specialized team to track them instead. Either way,
would
they're
you
gonna
prefer
send
us
people.
to stay here and reinforce it, or would you prefer us to head out and be a decoy force here?
I mean, we only just dealt with an actual recon team, and we kind of walked away bruised. I don't know if I want to stick around for the big one.
So Elder Sevi immediately raises her hand. I concur with this. Sadly, this village is nowhere near prepared to deal with a large-scale attack. I would have to insist that you leave, but not after we've properly supplied you and you've had time to rest from this most recent quarrel.
Gotcha. So any recommended direction or location we should head to that either is more reinforced or that we could reinforce ourselves?
She hums for a moment. She thinks that over. That is an interesting question that is difficult to answer. You see, we've had a lot of trouble mapping out this new world. A very large deal of trouble. Ever since the Great Compilation, the geography of this world has drastically changed, as has its citizenry and much, much more. Even the physics of this world seems to be vastly different, more of an amalgam of many things that each of us were familiar with from our own worlds. This world has changed in such vast ways that we're still struggling to grasp it. And as such, we don't even have any proper maps for you. We are attempting to get a better grasp on the scope of this world, but it is slow going. We have, in fact, been able to fund a few construction projects in order to restore the railways. There were many of them across a few of the involved worlds that were heavily damaged in the process of the compilation. But we have been working on uniting them, creating a new network of railways across this world. And there are a few towns and other smaller settlements north and south of here that have been recently reconnected to that system.
I mean, we can just map the place outside. We're gonna be exploring it anyway, right?
Actually, I think one of the more prudent questions we can ask are if there are any at least hills or mountains that we can at least head towards to get a better vantage point and the lay of the land if they don't have it.
That is an excellent question. Problem is, we lay in the middle of a valley. If you're looking for mountains, then the closest places would be far north or south of here. The settlements that we do know of, if you were to head far south toward the bottom of this peninsula, you would eventually find the Source Wood. Rather deep, dark forest, very tall trees, very old. But there is a nice little logging settlement in the middle of it, connected to the rails, that has been invaluable in expanding and repairing our city. Further south from there, you'll reach the Arctic portion of the peninsula, where you'll be able to find a few small research settlements that have been set up near a few lakes down there, and a few camp settlements set up here and there as well, scattered throughout, a bit further from the railways, but they might have some information for you if you were to set out in that direction.
Oh, you know what? Ron's gonna ask a very simple question to Pon Chessmon.
Alright, what would that be?
What direction is the Metal Empire?
Oh, the Metal Empire is far north of here, way past where your rails go.
Okay, and we're going south.
South of the logging settlement does sound like a good idea, because
Also, logically, getting them away from their
us.
supplies and logistics makes the most sense. Stress their logistics makes it easier for us to defend ourselves and pick them off.
She just goes, I thought we were just thinking about getting as far away from the Empire as possible. Yeah, me too.
Well, you may also want to consider taking the rails to the northeast or northwest. It will still take you a good distance away from the Metal Empire. Heading to the northwest, you'll be taken to the city of Galeground. It's a very windy city, sitting right on the borders of a valley that constantly threatens to blow over everything that enters it. A little place called the Vortex Valley, standing directly between our Arctic peninsula and the Lifeless Lands, a vast desert.
Is it natural desert or like wasteland apocalyptic desert?
Oh, most certainly natural. Although,
Okay.
some parts of it, from reports we've heard, may be unnatural on the fringes. It's believed the Metal Empire might be setting up an outpost on the north end of those lands. Then,
Art kind of like kicks a little bit at the ground, like, man, you don't have to make all the names sound so exciting to go visit.
Well, then, if you were to take the path to the northeast, you would be heading directly towards a rather narrow strait between here and the next continent over. There's a camp on each end that has been collaborating on setting up a rather large bridge. It should be nearly completed. If you were to cross that, you would be heading over into what's currently known as the feuding empires. There were a lot of more primal civilizations in very different digital world servers that were involved in all of this, and they sort of all crashed together in a very narrow space that used to be very fertile and promising. But they've been fighting each other constantly. The interesting part about that, though, is that you could easily get a good number of allies and a lot of information out of those lands. She points down to Scratch. I do believe a very large number of people from your own server would be in that region.
Scratch's ears immediately perk up. Then, like, the stoic paying attention demeanor drops, and there's a very strong tinge of excitement and hope on her face.
And then, if you were to break away from the bridge instead of crossing, you could potentially head to a nice small shoreside encampment a little closer to the Metal Empire, but they've been well defended and hidden. You could take a boat out to the sea-locked sequence, small archipelago set up next to one of the rising points for the Great Gears. She points to one of the large bay windows to the side. You might have noticed during your time outside that this world happens to have some rather enormous unnatural landmarks. And of course, she's speaking of the giant gears you can see in the distance, one to the east and one much further to the west.
Any idea what they're from?
Oh, not in the slightest, dear. Which is why there's research encampments that have been set up near both ends of this one, and most likely the same for all of the others. We could only see the two, but considering the vast distance between them and the fact that this server has most definitely taken the shape of a full globe, I would have to surmise that there are a few more as well that we cannot see from this point in the world.
Are
Interesting.
they guilty?
God damn it, Lucy, no. I already had guilty
That
gear.
took an
I already had guilty gear on the brain because somebody just modded Potemkin in his Smash Ultimate.
It took me like an
Cool.
entire beat longer than it needed to be. Also, did they mod him over Donkey Kong?
They modded him as an original character with a full moveset.
What?
That's incredible,
crazy.
actually.
Grappling.
Oh yeah, he's heavy grapple, and also he has the Heavenly Potemkin Buster as his ultimate. Or as his final smash. Yeah, so the pawn's just kind of sitting there listening to this whole conversation, like, wow, you humans really don't know shit, do you?
Of course not. We're not from here.
We just got here.
Yeah, fair
I
point.
came from doing a run. I have literally no context here.
Good point.
You mouth off like that again, and I'm gonna look at your code. He pulls out his flipper.
And he just, like, cringes back. He just
nice.
cringes backwards at the sight of that, and oh. Well, now I'm feeling like I'm back in the Empire.
Okay, now that made me feel too bad. I'm putting it away.
Thank you.
Or just kind of just like whaps him on the back of the head with her hand.
Ow. Oh,
Sevi,
shit.
Sevi just shakes her head for a moment, like, all right. So,
I was just trying to mess with him. Did I accidentally go way too fucking far? Captain
little too
smacks him on the
far.
back of the head. Yes!
yeah, Sevi just shakes her head fondly, though clearly smiling. So, you have your potential routes. You could head down to Sourcewood and then to the research camps and towns that have been set up in the Arctic region. Although, if you go that way, in order to leave, you'll most likely have to find somewhere to take a boat to the southern regions of the neighboring continents, or have to take the train back north towards us anyway. And then
I think we should go to.
you could potentially go to the Gale Ground, an excellent little city. It's very windy, but apparently it's much more modern than our little hovel here. And I believe you may have even seen some posters that have been put up around town about some big act that's going on there.
How
Nope.
dare.
You know, for someone who says she hasn't exactly been scouting this whole place, she knows a lot about what's going on around here.
This is only the local area and what's connected to the rails. She don't know anything more than that.
All right. So, just so we're clear, out of character, we're still set on like the whole going north plan, right?
Well, you've stated that. Nobody else has put their input in.
I kind of think we should go through the gears, because I think if we're going for like a what the fuck happened here, we need to like look into things that are very obviously out of place. And the big gears, in my opinion, are the, if not smoking gun, at least something we could look into to try to like figure out what the deeper thing that happened here was. It also kind of
was-
gets us a little bit.
Whatever.
My vote was to head south towards the lumber settlement, because at the very least that sounds like it has more fortification potential, as well as it being harder to track us through a forest.
All excellent points so far.
I mean, mine is more of a long-term commute idea, so it could be we could do that later. I still think we should do that, but it isn't necessarily our first. If we're more worried about the Iron Empire right now, it's not our literal first goal, you know.
Art is much more apt for going the not immediately getting into hostilities. So going through the forest and kind of keeping a low profile to get more information seems like a much stronger idea. Scratch also kind of nods her head in agreement that going through the forest is, until we get our bearings on just how big this empire is and how much power it has, that going somewhere that's not going to draw too much attention might be the smarter plan.
Is anyone outside of me a survivalist, so we can actually survive in the wilderness?
No. Ain't got
And
shit.
Hailey doesn't mind doing her best to help, but
Oh,
she'd rather not.
You
be
are
the
going to
only
be.
person that knows how to rough it.
I mean, you are going to be given yeah, they did say that the rails are set up, so you'll have a train ride to get there.
Fair. But I assume we're going at least partway through the forest to kind of cut off our trail, you know?
Potentially. You might have to do some work in the woods once you get closer.
Bushwhacking, that kind of thing.
So I guess that's 3 votes for the forest out of a party of 5. So obviously that's going to be your next major route, but you still have some downtime before that. So as your party to vote as to what you're going to do next comes to a close, Elder Brato claps his hands together, rubs them a bit, and says, "All right, well, we'll work on gathering some supplies for you. You are welcome to explore the town, rest up, enjoy yourselves, check out a local bar maybe, and of course, suites at the hotel have been prepared for you. Miranda's already pulled all of that together. And then, of course, first thing in the morning, whenever you're prepared, I'll meet you at the train station. Well, actually, I suppose you don't quite know where the station is, so I'll meet you at the hotel and escort you to the train station.
Thank you, sir.
Much appreciated.
For now, I believe that is meeting adjourned. No casualties to speak of. Everybody who was injured is already fully healed up. I think we're good to go. So,
Well, no, casualties on our side.
Rowan's going to set up a camera and go to the like the town meeting podium and actually I actually want to bring forth an addendum, which is the state of things, of which there are many to discuss. This rambling goes on inanely as he's basically like trying to do a punk video where
Hands to their
Bro,
hands to their face.
Bro,
And
is
is
like dumb.
Has approached up the podium to grab you by the collar and just drag you away from it.
Haley scoots her fish, which grabs your leg gently and does the same thing.
yep. Sounds about right.
Basically, got Shepard hooked. off the
Can someone
fucking stage.
animate that? Like he's like a comedian, and there's like the big long cane that comes off screen and yanks him off.
No!
I'll see what I can do.
I wasn't done. No.
But then, as everyone is dispersing, one of the mayors, Atsuka, the Kokeshimon, slowly approaches Scratch and speaks to her in a very hushed and weak voice. I have some contacts that might be of use to you. If you meet me later tonight, preferably alone, I can help get you in contact with members of your tribe.
Scratch is already mid-nod when she heard that bit, and her eyes flare for just a moment, and she nods again. All right. We'll meet tonight.
Excellent. My chambers can be found just down the road from your hotel. It will not be hard to find. I'm sure you're familiar with our world's old architecture. It should stand out quite clearly to you.
It's only been a few hours for me. But yeah, it's vivid in my mind.
Then I shall see you there tonight. Let's say midnight.
It's a done deal. We'll see you then.
Very well. And be sure to come alone.
Ooh.
Will do.
And that said, she makes her way out. Thanks for watching, guys, and please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Envoy of Kairos for many more videos, ranging from gameplay to speed paints, my original Pokemon region, game concepts, and much more. And do try to remember the words of Kairos. Embrace every opportunity to better yourself and the world. You never know when a leap of faith will change your life for the better. See you again soon.